Good morning, students. Here, Mrs. Neelam Jain from Ascam Public School. Students, today I am going to teach you History chapter number 4, the Mughal Empire. Today you are going to learn about here Mughal Empire or about Mughal dynasty. So look at this map, this brown part here shaded is for Mughal Empire. As you know, the Mughals were the descendants of the two great lineages of rulers, Genghis Khan and Timur. Babur, the first Mughal emperor, succeeded to the throne of Fargana in 1494. So, founding of the Mughal Empire, we can say that Babur was founder of the Mughal Empire. He was Turkish descent, married to a descendant of Genghis Khan, conquers Delhi in 1526 to officially start the empire. So Babur, he defeated Ibrahim Lodi at Panipat in 1526. He defeated Rana Sanga at Khanwa in 1527. He defeated the Rajputs at Chanderi in 1528. He established Mughal Empire before his death. Then Humayun succeeds his father to the throne, not as effective or likable. Rumors of opium addiction throughout his reign. 2 decades of his region are survived but not plentiful. Sher Khan defeated Humayun at Chausa and Kannauj. In Iran, Humayun received help from Safavid Shah. He recaptured Delhi in 1555. He died in 1556 due to an accident. I am talking about Mughal Emperor. First was Babur, second was Humayun, and third is Akbar. Akbar takes the throne at age of 13 and rules for 50 years. Much more successful ruler. He was very successful ruler, expanded empire, use of firearms in the army he used. Then mansabs to pay for his armies. Illiterate, tolerant of religions. One of his wives was a Hindu, famous for his patronage of the arts. He was lover of art. So Akbar was 13 years old when he became emperor. Military campaigns were launched against the Suris and others Afghans. Military campaigns in Gujarat were followed by campaigns in Bihar, Bengal and Orissa, now Odisha. He annexed Kandahar, Kashmir and Kabul also. Akbar also developed the idea of Sulh-e-Kul or universal peace to promote honesty, tolerance, peace and justice in his realm. Then Akbar also he was 13 years old when he became emperor. So most illustrious ruler of the Mughal Empire, how did he differ from his Ottoman and Safavid counterparts? Married a Rajput princess who was a Hindu and welcomed her family. He was very prosperous. Akbar was very prosperous. Then Jahangir was also there. Military campaigns started by Akbar continued the ruler of Mewar, Amar Singh, accepted Mughal service. Shah Jahan, Mughal campaigns continued in the Deccan. Campaigns were launched against Ahmednagar. Then Aurangzeb in the northeast Ahoms were defeated in 1663. After Akbar's rebellion, Aurangzeb sent his armies against the Deccan Sultanates. Bijapur was annexed in 1685 and Golconda in 1687. He had to face rebellion in the north by Sikhs, Jats and Satnamis also. Now it's about Rajputs, were warriors class from North India. Rajputs were Hindu. Approximately 15% of mansabs confirmed the policy of religious accommodation. Then major differences between people, religion. Indian predominantly were Hindus, Muslim minority ruling Hindu majority. Muslim beliefs and Hindu beliefs not easily integrated into a single society, need a new way of ruling a country with these kind of differences. So there were major differences when there was rule of Mughals in India. There were many differences between people. Then religion at that time, Muslims, they destroy Hindu monuments, expand into Hindu territory, enslaving prisoners of war and forcing conversion to Islam. Potentially dangerous division within the country. Akbar eases tensions by stopping worst of the abuse. Then Akbar and religion. Akbar declares himself the infallible messenger of God in 1579. Would this be allowed under Islam? Why or why not? What do you believe is his main purpose for doing this? Allows for cases to be heard by himself. Akbar developed the idea of Sulh-e-Kul or universal peace to promote honesty, tolerance, peace and justice in his realm. Akbar's policies, his empire was divided into subas. Subas were governed by subedars. Subedars was supported by Baki, Sadar, Faujdars and the Kotwal. Akbar's interaction with people of different faiths led him to the idea of Sulh-e-Kul or universal peace. New religion. Akbar creates a new religion, mix of Muslim, Hindu, Zoroastrian, Sikh and Christian beliefs. The new religion, what is Zoroastrianism, one of the world's oldest monotheistic religion. Elements are pure and fire represents God's light and wisdom. Focus on good works, thoughts and deeds. Cold with 3 knots. Pray facing a source of light such as the sun. Keep minds, bodies and spirits pure to defeat evil. Then new religion was also there. What is Sikhism? Founded in 15th century, practice religion by coping with everyday problems in the world. There is only one God. God is without form or gender. Everyone has direct access to God. Everyone is equal before God. A good life is lived as part of a community by living honesty and carving for others. Empty religious rituals and superstitions have no value according to Sikhism. The new religion, Akbar creates a new religion, mix of Muslims, Hindu, Zoroastrian, Sikh and Christian beliefs. This brought here togetherness, bring together scholars of all the religions to listen to them debate, made part of the court a religious ritual. This did not continue after his death. After the death of Akbar, this did not continue. Conversions under Akbar. Why would non-Muslim individuals convert even if they were not forced to do so? You will do. Economics under Akbar. Relatively here peaceful time period. How was economy at that time when there was rule of Akbar? Relatively peaceful time period. Conflict with other Indian princes. Booming trade in cotton cloth with the Europeans. Foreign trade from the port of Surat. Most Europeans had lost control of ports and so were seen as an ally to the Indians. Military protection for trade rights, no navy of their own, did not understand the inflation of the silver in Europe and the incredibly cheap price they were giving the Europeans. Then Aurangzeb. Overzealous grandson of Akbar. He was overzealous grandson of Akbar. Reversed stance on religious tolerance caused conflict within his own empire. Beheaded the 9th Guru of Sikhism, lead to the formation of the army of the pure. Religion begins to be at the center of armed conflict within the country. So Aurangzeb, he had to face rebellion in the north by Sikhs, Jats and Sattamis also. So downfall of the Mughal Empire. Mughal traditions of succession. The Mughals did not believe in the rule of primogeniture, eldest son inheriting the kingdom. Instead, they followed the Mughal and Timurid custom of heir compulsory inheritance. Mughal relations with other rulers. As the Mughals became powerful, many Rajput rulers voluntarily joined them. They married their daughters into Mughal families and received high positions. The Sisodia Rajputs refused to accept Mughal authority, but once defeated, they were honorably treated by the Mughals. Mansabdars and Jagirdars. A grading system was used by Mughals to fix rank, salary, and military responsibility. The term Mansabdar refers to an individual who holds a Mansab. Mansabdars received their salaries as Jagirs. Rank and salary were determined by a numerical value called Zat, Z-A-T, Zat. Zabt and Zamidars. The main source of income was tax on the produce of peasantry. Whatever farmers were producing, they have to pay tax to the Mughals. So the main source of income was tax on the produce of peasantry. Tax was fixed on each crop in cash. Each province was divided into revenue circles. This revenue system was known as Zabt. The Mughals used the term Zamidar to describe the local headmen or village chieftains. So how this downfall was? Why? Downfall of the Mughal Empire. Land grant system. Due to land grant system, inability of Aurangzeb to effectively administer the areas under his control. He was unable to control the areas which were under him. Challenges to military from regional players, Marathas, Hindu Rajput, Sikhs, Afghans, invaded by Nadir Shah, general who took control after the fall of the Safavids, sacks Delhi and takes the throne with him. Limping empire. Officials begin breaking apart and declaring themselves independent. Religious groups break away and gain their freedom and flourish. Leaves the region here susceptible to European intrusion and conquest. Joseph Francois Dupleix was European, took presidency of east coast of French Pondicherry, takes control of southern India through trade, becomes the puppet master, pulling the strings for several Indian princes. Leaves in 1754, clearing the way for British involvement. So you have learned about the Mughal Empire. You have learned that Mughals were the descendants of the two great lineages of rulers, Genghis Khan and Timur. Babur, the first Mughal emperor, succeeded to the throne of Farghana in 1494. In 1526, Babur defeated the Sultan of Delhi, Ibrahim Lodi, and captured the city of Delhi and Agra. The Mughals did not believe in the rule of heir primogeniture. Instead, they followed the Mughal and Timurid custom of heir compulsory inheritance. As the Mughals became powerful, many other rulers, for example Rajputs, joined them voluntarily or were forced to accept their authority. The Mughal recruited diverse bodies of people like Iranian, Indians, Muslims, Afghans, etc. The term Mansabdar refers to an individual who holds a Mansab, meaning position or rank. Mansabdars received their salaries as revenue assignments called Jagirs. The main source of income available to Mughal rulers was tax on the produce of the peasantry. Todarmal, the revenue minister of Akbar, carried out a careful survey of crop yields, prices and areas that came to be known as Zabt. The empire was divided into subas governed by a subedar who carried out both political and military functions. The province had Diwan, Faujdar, Kotwal, etc. for the maintenance of peace and order in the province. Akbar developed the idea of Sulh-e-Kul or universal peace to promote honesty, tolerance, peace and justice in his realm. The administrative and military efficiency of the Mughal Empire led to great economic and commercial prosperities. And some facts and figures. Babur succeeded to throne of Fargana in 1494 at the age of 12. Babur defeated Ibrahim Lodi in the Battle of Panipat in 1526. Cannons, तोपे जिसको बोलते हैं, were an important addition in 16th century warfare. Gunpowder technology was brought to India for warfare in the 14th century. In Akbar's reign, there were 29 Mansabdars, while in Aurangzeb's reign the number increased to 79. So this is about the Mughal Empire which you have learned today. Please read chapter of your book NCERT also. Thank you. Have a nice day. Stay alert, stay healthy. Thank you.